Hello. So Eid is over, and I hope you have enjoyed the biryani recipe. And now, I feel like there is something still missing, right? Because in Eid you have all this delicious food like biryanis and pulao, the beef, mutton, and all that. But then after Eid, you just want it to continue for a bit long. So I think I have a good recipe that's gonna be fast, quick. It's not gonna take a lot of your time. It's very easy prep. It's probably, just get a few items from the grocery store, put them in a pot, boil them, and get it done. So this recipe that I'm talking about is Shami Kebab. So kebab, usually you see it in long strips and all that. So those are sheikh kebab. So those are basically put on a iron metal stand or rod. Then after that they are put on the tandoori, or let's say over a grill, and those are fried. So Shami kebab, the history of it is very, very interesting because there are a lot of stories of where the origins come from. But the most well-known story is that during the Mughal times, right? During the Mughal times, the king back then was old, and he perhaps had lost all of his teeth, or maybe his teeth were weak. And what happened is that he summoned his kitchen staff, his chief chef, and then after that, basically, the chef was ordered that I wish to eat meat, and you need to find a way for me. So when the king orders, you have to obey, and they did obey. They took the meat, and then after that they use, for example, papaya paste to soften the meat. Papaya has pepin, which is the enzymes that break down break down protein molecules. And after that, basically. The meat became so soft that it was basically melting in the hand, right? And they mix it with a few spices, and then they fried it up into small disc-like balls, right? So it's like this and a bit flat on the top. So disc-like balls, and that's how the story of Shami Kebab came. So now in different regions, right? In India, they might, in some regions they call it Shami Kebab. Other regions they call it what is the I think it's galauti, and then in some other areas they call it in other names. So how galauti makes sense because galauti's direct translation is melted kebab. So how does Shami kebab get its name? So it's very simple. It is probably served in the time that's called Sham. So Sham in Arabic or Hindi or Urdu, it means the evening hour, right? So that's why it's called the Shami kebab. So Shami means evening, and the rest is history. So why don't we get on to the kitchen and cook it up? So for Shami kebab, what you need is beef. You can make it with mutton, you can make it with chicken, but beef is my preference. So you take minced beef, but what cut of beef would you take with Shami kebab? So what I have with me is a fillet from the tenderloin muscle group. So the tenderloin muscle group is tucked within the rib of the cow, and basically it is the least utilized muscle in the body, which makes it very, very tender. And that is why in the restaurants, the filet mignon, the Wellingtons are made from this, and it's one of the most expensive cuts. But if you have other cuts, right, that completes the following criteria, which are very little in fat, so that will also work. But if you want the tenderness to come in, then you would best to choose this. So let's put this away, and let's introduce you to the rest of the members of the team. So we have our beef minced, so I have chopped it with hands. So, and what we have is a gram lentil. So gram lentil, we're gonna boil it together with the beef, and we're gonna salt it, right? And then we have cardamom pods, just six pods. So because they are very strong, right? So we just put a 6, and it will be amazing. You can taste the menthol flavor in the beef later on. And then after that, the cinnamon, which will bring in the sweetness, and you have a bit of coriander, a bit of cumin, a bit of bay leaf. So all of this will help to make the beef tasty and your kebab excellent. So what we have here is a black pepper. So now you might be thinking that isn't it too much black pepper? Well, you're cooking beef, so that's why you need a lot of black pepper. But let's say if you're a person that doesn't like the taste of black pepper that much, in cooking there is no compulsion, you can reduce this. And after that we have the encore. So we have the onions. We have about 1 onion cut into 4. And then after that we have about 4 cloves of garlic. And then we have half a ginger. So I've taken a bud of a ginger, and then I've cut it into half, and that's what you're left with. So let's go on the cooking process. First thing we're going to go in with is the beef. So I'm just going to put all of that in. Oh, you can see the sizzling now, don't you? And then we're going to put the gram lentils in. After that, salt them and go in with the onions on one side, garlic on the other side, and ginger over here. It really doesn't matter. And then you can go in with the bay leaves, go in with the cardamom pods, and you can go in with the cinnamon and the spices. Just put them in. And that's done. Not least, the black pepper. So now once you have done that, just give it a mix, and we will add water to it. So the best pointer for this is if you have a non-stick pan, then that would be great. Like if you have a stainless non-stick pan, that would be great. But if you don't, well, you're already a seasoned cook by then. Right. So now this looks mixed. Now I'm going to add a bit of water to it. So that's 1 cup. And we have another cup. We just want to cook it down a little, and once it's cooked and once it's soft, we'll put it through a blender, and your kebab will be ready by then. It's that simple of a recipe, trust me. So you have this, and just cover it up with the lid, and I'll see you next. This has been boiling for about 30 minutes now, and I have also added in a bit of water because it was getting a bit dry. So I've added in a bit of water, and then we boiled it further. So how do you know that it's done? It's not really the meat, right? Because the meat, we're going to blend it, then we're going to fry it again. That doesn't matter. But what matters is the lentils. So once the gram lentils are soft and mushy, that's when you know it's time to shut off the fire. So now what we're going to do is that I have some chopped chilies and onions over here. But before that, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a nice blend. So I'm going to take my trusty hand blender, and then we're going to go on for a bit, and let's fast forward that. You let it cool down a bit, and after that we're going to add the onions, the chili, and sprinkle a bit of coriander. Then we're going to make it into the kebab shapes, and then we're going to fry it. So let's catch you on that. I have in front of me a baking tray lined with baking paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making patties out of this, and we're going to probably make 6 and put the rest in the fridge. So you can just take a bit from here, right? So take a golf ball size amount, and then just roll it in your hands, just like making a meatball, and then press it nicely from the top, flattening it on both sides. So as you can see, it's nice, small, dippy. So that's one, and the rest to go. Now you need to note that if you feel like your patty is a bit wet, right? They're a bit soggy, it's a bit wet, it doesn't feel firm, then you see they're like, it feels firm like this. So, but if it doesn't feel firm, then you can add a bit of breadcrumb to it, you can add a bit of rice flour to it, and my own preference will be the rice flour. Alright guys, we have 6 hockey pucks ready, or patties, whichever you want to say it. So let's say that you have a lot of energy and you would like to make all of this at once. What you can do is you can make them, and then after that you can let them freeze in the baking tray. So probably you can make 5 or 6 baking trays with this, and then once they are frozen, they are hard as a hockey puck. Then what you can do is you can pack them in Ziploc bags and you can put them in the freezer. So what happens is when you come back from work and you're tired, you can just take 2 or 3, put them in the oil and just fry them like nuggets. So it's amazing. Simple, easy food. Let's go and fry this. Now we have our patties made, and now let's fry them. So I have oil over here heating, and right here is the first piece. Let's put it in. So right now I'm just going to show you how we fry it. So we get the crispy exterior and then we also get the soft interior. So you want the heat to be medium high, right? And once it gets frying, you just want to splash a bit of oil on top so that it tempers all the way through. So as you can see that the color is changing, it's becoming a lighter white color. And at the medium heat, and then you just want to flip it over, and it looks gorgeous right now. It looks gorgeous. So I'm going to put in another one, all right, just to show you another piece. So there you go. So put in another one. And just the same thing, you put it on the top like that, so in a clockwise direction. So 12 o'clock, this will be 3 o'clock, and just splash a bit of oil on that. Alright, so once these are fried, we'll be back again soon. Oh, just a tremendous color. Oh. So now that we're done with the kebabs, I'm just going to plate them one by one, and probably stack them one over each other, and add a bit of garnish for coriander, and there we have it. So let's say if you like it and you like the taste, you like how easy it is to be done, you can always like, or you can subscribe, and we'll see you again on our next video.